Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm doing the jungle tier list for patch 13.19, so if you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. To begin with, this is a fairly small patch. There's not a huge amount of jungle changes. This is the world's patch, so a lot of these will be pro-focused, or very minimal towards solo queue, buffing up off-meta builds, and just slight adjustments towards new champion being Briar. So let's cover them. Nunu is going to stay in the S tier. His AP is still just not as strong as his tank variant, but it does give it more options, and the fact that Demonics Rush is definitely a lot more of an appealing option. If you're looking to be a hybrid tank carry, Demonics is a perfect item for you. It currently supports the highest win rate of all of his first items, has got a fairly small sample size, but definitely something there. I would consider going this as one of your primary options alongside Sunfire. Radiant is also not a bad option, but yeah, Barmies into Sunfire, Barmies into Radiant. You can Demonics Rush, you can pick up Dark Seal. Magi's is also really good if you're able to stack up those Dark Seal stacks. There's lots of options with Nunu. His AP ratio getting buffed on his E definitely helped his ability to do more damage and gave him a lot more carry potential. Overall, full AP builds just not performing to the same level as tank. However, they did say that they didn't want that. They do just perform a bit better though. So if you want to go AP Nunu, you can. Definitely try Demonics. However, tank is still primarily going to be the main way you go, as it is his best build. So yeah, moving on. Lee Sin is going to stay in the A tier as well. The changes weren't big enough to really push him out of the A tier. He kind of was lingering towards the bottom of the A tier. However, now he definitely holds a good spot in here. Omnivamp going up by 5% early on into the game does help his ability to clear, keeps him stay healthy, keeps him able to sustain fight for a bit longer as well. Losing a bit of like 1% later on into the game and 0 to 20 damage on E doesn't do a huge amount, and the armor does allow him to continue to fight some of these AD champs with the Omnivamp and be able to just output a bit more DPS. So overall, nice changes towards Lee Sin. Definitely probably gonna, well, I'd say definitely gonna see him at Worlds. Some people will pick this champion. They do like him when he's in a decent spot. Lee Sin, however, not performing to the same level. Did get slight tap down by the 0 to 20 damage off on the E, but still does work. Probably not going to see that at Worlds, but yeah, definitely jungle Lee Sin. So Briar is going to move up to the S tier. The B tier was kind of as like a... I didn't want to put her too high. People hadn't quite learned the builds correctly. A lot of people were still rushing Bork, rushing Stride Breaker, when Gore Drinker is a really strong option on her. I know she has some lethality builds coming through. I've seen like Collector, Navori, and then other lethality options like your Duskblade, your Eclipse. However, I would definitely, for the most part, say you're going the Gore Drinker, the Cleaver, the Stark Saurian, as it gives you a lot of durability, allows you to sustain fight for a lot longer, and overall just gives her the ability to do a lot whilst not having the not being limited in how hard you can just run it down. That's kind of the main thing with that build. You're just not going to be running it down as hard if you are struggling within the game. But if you're able to keep tempo, then yes, lethality options do definitely get opened up, and you're looking to snowball, there is that there. So overall, just going to say the S tier for the moment. She definitely holds a good spot in here. Probably going to get nerfed fairly soon. I don't suspect that Riot want her to hold a decent win rate, as it will continue to grow as people hop off the champion, people refine their play styles, refine their builds, and all that, which will inflate her win rate, obviously. So yeah, moving on. Rek'Sai received direct nerfs, losing 4% damage on her Q early game, losing movement speed on the W, and losing... There was one other thing she lost. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, she lost a lot of power through the changes that came to her. They compensated with a bit more damage on the W, but it is your last max ability. So overall, really just hurt Rek'Sai quite a bit. Moving all the way down to the B tier, she no longer holds an S+ spot. She had been really good for a long time at this point. A solid, I want to say like 10 patches since the ADC rework, where they, the ADC item changes and the removal of Perilous Claw. They wanted to buff her up to be a competitive bruiser champion. They successfully did that. She was in a good spot, more bruisery, definitely has a bit more scaling on her side, can definitely compete with a lot of jungle, was able to compete with a lot of junglers, but now they want to put her down a bit, make sure she's not kind of crushing elite play as much as she was. Moving up into the S tier, however, is Nocturne. So this might come as a surprise, but Nocturne is really good at the moment. He has really good build options. He has a really strong core item of Stride Breaker, and overall he is just performing to a very high level at the moment. He will probably be nerfed this patch, so I definitely do recommend getting the games in if you do play this champion. He is sat at something like a 54% win rate in Elite Plus, when I would consider this champion a strong mid to low elo champion. As he can hold a lot of power with his ultimate, his ability to have global pressure, his ability to just skirmish and 1v1s, and just overall his kit provides a lot of value. When this champion is weak, however, he is of course kind of bad because he is a stat stick at the end of the day, and if you can't overpower people with your numbers, then you do tend to just lose out in those fights. But with Stride Breaker into things like Cleaver, Shojin, Axiom if you're snowballing is a really good option there. Then you got things like GA, Death's Dance more. He is in a really good spot at the moment. Definitely abuse him if you do want some free LP in the jungle. Alongside him, Belveth's still a really good champion, is getting nerfed next patch, we now do know this. They want to push her away from her Stride Breaker Sterex build and push her more towards the on-hit builds, as she is performing really well with the Stride Breaker variation, has a really high ban rate in lots of regions challenges to masters. Good pick rate, good win rate, it's all there, so they are definitely adjusting her to make her less oppressive. Eve doesn't look like she's going to have any changes, but is in a really good spot at the moment. She benefits a lot from, or she benefited a lot from buffs she received a while back, but benefits really well from a lot of the items in the game at the moment. Things like Rabadon's, of course, got that 5% AP amp on it not too long ago. Maybe I believe it was at the mid-season. Protobelt being in a really good spot. You can go Night Harvester, but it's an option there. Sorks, Medjai's Rush, also really, really good on Eve. You do tend to want to go that path if you are looking to carry on this champion. Lichbane isn't a bad option. You've got things like Void Staff, Zonya, Banshee, if you do need the more defensive options. They're all there, they all do work, and she's in a pretty good spot because of it. So yeah, definitely holding a good spot in the S plus tier. If you're looking for something more supportive, Ivan is here in the S tier. Really good builds at the moment. Really good build at the moment being the Shirelias and Moonstone versions, I believe. I'm going to quickly look to see, because I believe they fixed the Moonstone bug, which was causing a lot of his win rate kind of fall, but Shirelias was outperforming. It's still the case. You can still go the Night Harvester version, but it isn't performing to the same level as the support variations. But yeah, Shirelias into like Ardent Sensor, Redemption is a really good item at the moment. You can pick up Stuff for Flowing Water if you do have very AP heavy comps. Medjai is really good if you're looking to amp your shield. I wouldn't recommend picking up Anti-Heal. It's just not a great item for Ivan. It doesn't apply on allies anymore, so you tend to want someone else to build anti-heal, and so you can focus more on your full supportive items, as that's where your real spikes come in. But overall, this champion is performing really well at the moment. Don't sleep on him. Yeah, if you want something more supportive, play Ivan. Other than that, Shaco, really good builds. Uday, really good builds. Fiddle, pretty meta. He always holds a spot in the meta. It's really hard to move this champion. Has a really powerful ult tool, has good clear, has a strong AP champion. It's all there. Lilia kind of risen up over time. Lots of people are realizing this champ is actually really good. I know people go the Roa variation, but you can still go like your Demonics, your Leandries, it's all there. Zac, same case, you can go Demonic, Sunfires, Radiant, that's all still there for him. Kha'Zix, still a really high performing assassin, even with the Q nerfs. Has build options in Duskblade into Prowlers or Edge of Night, I believe. Those are his, that is his standard core. You can go things like Axiom later on, GA, Death's Dance if you do need it. Other Lethality options are there for him as well. Echo received buffs not too long ago, and I moved him up because of it. He is still in a really good spot. The Q-So going up, the W shield going up, and the Q recall damage going up did help this champion a decent amount. Helps his ability to clear, helps his fighting and dueling power. It's all there, really good. Talia, probably going to be the best competitive pick at the moment. She is really strong in jungle, really strong in mid, and just has a lot of value. However, I'd put her in the A tier for generalistic mid-elo solo queue, as she kind of falters in the hands of someone not as proficient at her. You do want to pick up things like the First Strike is a really good rune page for her, but overall, that is my thoughts on the jungle tier list. Beginning tomorrow or Wednesday, I believe, I'm going to make videos on each lane and of course jungle on what kind of presence I believe each champion is going to have at Worlds. That should be kind of exciting, as I do want to look and kind of evaluate what kind of champs people are picking. Things like mid, of course, want to talk about like the Orianna kind of effect, where she went from 0 presence to what I believe is going to be pretty high presence. Same goes for Gwen, jungle top, really valuable flex pick there. But overall, should be interesting. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.